Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps, SRE, DevSecOps coach.
Welcome to VoiceOver. VoiceOver speaks disc.
Hey Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yes, Karan, I can hear you.
I do have a challenge and I can share my screen. Let me share.
Yeah.
So can you see my screen? So it
So,
shows me agent is there.
Are you there, Rajesh?
yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, are you waiting for something? I think we have done this already.
Okay, so I think we'll move on then.
Yeah, please.
Guys, look at my screen, all of you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So now guys, next one is database. We did app server, we did the web server. Now it's a MySQL. Okay. So let's understand at a high level because more or less pattern now you got it. So guys, this is my machine. This is my Datadog cloud. Here you have agent. Here you have agent. And then this is you. And this is MySQL. Now here agent need to get the matrices from MySQL and send to Datadog and then you'll explore it. Now question is where do we get the MySQL metrics? So I discussed in the morning. Any idea what was that?
Will be direct.
No. It will be something. So see, MySQL is database.
Databases.
Yes. So now MySQL database. This is the DB which is managed by MySQL only. But this database will contain not your database. It will contain the performance matrix. Now the question is, this is you, okay? And if you want to read the database, what are the things you needed? Tell me quickly.
You need a connection.
I mean, 5 things you need it in order to query the database, either you or applications. Tell me which are those things.
Port number?
First IP address, then port number. What else?
Username and password.
Username and password, and last one database name. So this
Yes.
you are okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you can query with this information. So in fact, this agent you need to configure with IP address, port number, database name, username, and password. Simple. So theoretically, if you understood, can I show you the demo?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So guys, look at my screen here. I am going to first install the MySQL server. How do we do that? So I think here also you can build the pattern, all the tutorials, which you will find it here. So Datadog MySQL. Okay. And you see here Datadog tutorial, Datadog agent integration with the MySQL database. One more thing, guys, do not follow the instruction blindly. You have to read it. So now if you're curious about it, what you want to get it, which matrices. So this is the document which I have dated it. By the way, you can see the Datadog documentation also for that. So scroll down up to the somewhere where you find step one. So guys, step number 1, install the agent. Did you install the agent? Yes, that is done. Step number 2, install the MySQL server. Now here I must tell you this title little confusing, so don't install this one because your operating system is Ubuntu. So which one will work? So guys, this will work. Okay, so try this one. So open in a new tab and open this one. Now guys, these are the installation instruction for installing the MySQL in Ubuntu. So this is something which we have to do. So can I do that in front of you?
Yeah, please.
So here updating now sudo MySQL server. Mind it, MySQL server you can install 10 different ways. So but one of the easiest way, because our work is to get that up and running, not to get into the MySQL stuff. And now this command will install the MySQL server, which is open source one. And then next command, which I'll use for starting that. Now in a MySQL, you have to use lots of logic. Blindly, if you try to run and then complete it, it will not get completed. I'll show you where. And then guys, this command will start the services. So now this is done. Now guys, you know what? Don't follow the step 2. You see, not working with the latest. So that means this, if you're using the older version of MySQL, no, this steps you can follow, but not required anymore. So here, how to set the password for the MySQL root password. So just type MySQL over the command line. See here, enter, and this is a command we should run. So your root password, root is username, okay, of MySQL server, and this is the password, okay. So remember that. I'm just copying and pasting, enter and exit. I must remind you your root password is this one. So after this, you don't need to follow because you are using the latest version of MySQL. It's not supported. This is not required, by the way. If you're using older, then probably you need that, but right now not needed. Are you okay with this so far, all of you?
But we can put a password, our password as well, because we are ultimately changing the user and password.
Of course, yeah. I mean, this password you can use it, but if you change it, if you want to, it's up to you. Yeah.
Just want to understand.
Yeah. So this is just for the stuff. Now you got this step back. So this is done, guys. Just move on. Third thing, you have to do this one, and this is where that main work is involved in this. So this is the one. Just go to this part and go to MySQL. And here, click on this, click on install. See, I think some of you have got the installation because of this button, install button. So it got installed and done. Now, if I'm at your place, I will follow all this step. Okay, I will read all these steps, and then important is configurations. Now, this is something like many people are doing lots of mistakes. So I need to.
Can you check my VM is hang, like the IP is 3208911. Not getting any response back.
Is the issue?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am also facing same.
the
Can you
VM
please
is hang.
share your screen? It'll be easy.
It got hung at 90%.
Same for me also.
Installing MySQL.
As well, 96%.
Can you see my screen? I'm trying to SSH. Earlier one is hanged. It's on hang 90%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am also facing same issue. Some issue is there, I believe.
Maybe the latest version is little heavyweight. Could be that reason. Since how long you have 90%?
It's like 2 minutes.
for me 96% from last 3-4 minutes.
Okay, just wait for 2 minutes more. If it's not, then I have to do something for the server. But again, I'll have to destroy the server because it's all this thing is being created by Terraform.
You
So,
see, it's not login is also not allowed.
okay, can I do one thing, guys? Okay, I maybe I understood the problem. Can I ask to do all of you one thing? Can you all disable the Apache and Tomcat and Docker 3 services, because maybe they are consuming so much of CPU and RAM, and it's hanging for the installation purpose. It's hanging. So what I will do, I'm just open as a new console, stop the Tomcat service, stop the Apache service, stop the Docker service, and then it should fix that issue. Can you please try?
It's not, yeah, it's not allowed to open new console
New
also.
console.
Yeah, you see here, it's not allowing.
Not allowing, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there is only one option left, which I'm doing right now, and that is force reboot. So guys, I'm doing the so look at my screen very carefully. Though the steps are simple, but if you are an expert in MySQL, then you will find these steps are very simple. But if you have not interacted with MySQL, then you find little confusing. So let me do that actually. So basically, you only said in order to access the database by the agent, you need a IP address, port number, username and password, and database name. Correct now, all of you? So same thing we are doing it, but through the SQL command. So you have to, little bit focus on it. So guys, here you have a two versions of MySQL. One is an older version, one is a newer version. So you will read this, okay? And you are doing, these are the SQL commands you are going to do that. So first thing what I'm going to do, create a Datadog user with the following commands. So this command will create a user. The name of the user is Datadog. Mind it, this is the SQL command, not a Linux command. So first you have to log into the MySQL. How do I log into MySQL? So here MySQL enter is hyphen root hyphen p. Okay, now don't worry, this installation, the command which I'm running, these instructions you have here. Okay, so don't worry about that, but understand the logic so it will be easy for you. So here I will get it. Now what is my root password? So my root password, which was I set it up here, I hope you remember that.
Yep.
So enter. So guys, I got into this MySQL, and then now I will go and run this command, which will create a user. And mind it, don't run command blindly. Should I change this command? Tell me, yes or no?
Yes. You need to put
That's, that's correct, yes. So here I'm putting the password itself, easy, just make it things easier. Okay, so yes, please read it, then understand the command, then do that. It'll be easier for you. So done. Now guys, here this command will help you to validate that whether user is created or not. Though I know that it's created, but still you want to validate it. So how do I do that? Just a second. So here the password was password, PASSWRD, and copy. And mind it, this command is a MySQL command, it means Linux command. Okay, so you have to quit this guy and then run this. And here you see, okay means okay, that means there's no problem. So I did this. Now guys, read this command you need to run in 5.6 5.7, and this command you have to run in the MySQL 8. Which one I am having, I don't know. So here I'll just check version of MySQL. It's 8. So guys, this command will not be applicable for you. I repeat, please read this. So this command will be applicable for me. So can I copy this command and try to run this? Now this is MySQL command, so I have to log in again. So this is the one command, this is another command. So can I do that one more time? So I have to log in again actually. And the password, which was copy, enter. What happened? I just copy paste. I don't know, maybe some copy paste issues. Enter. Done. Now guys, I'm going to run this very carefully. Don't run blindly. And you see there's a, document also has a problem. See here, there is an error. See this command, they're asking you to run, but there's a colon missing, correct now? So this kind of issues, you will get it if you understand the MySQL command. So I'm copying here, but I have to add the colon, else it will show me error. Enter. Done. And then second command also, see the second command you have a colon, so that is okay. And done. So guys, are you okay with this so far, all of you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Now guys, this command, you have to run it and to check the access, granting the permission to the user. And this command to check that if all access is in place for the Datadog user. So can I run this? And the password is password itself, PASSWRD. And this is a one command, mind it, MySQL. So I have to come out of it, quit, and then run. And done guys. Okay means everything is okay. Now you can run this command again. You need to go back. so many times you have to come out, go back. So all this thing you have to do that. So here again log in into MySQL, copy and enter. That's all. And now what to do? Create, sorry, my bad. Run this command and then do this stuff. Enter. Done, guys. So here you have all this thing. Database is available, so good to go. Now finally this command will work. Need to give the permissions to a performance schema. Final command, that's all. So what you did, nothing great. I'll tell you what you did. So here what you did, you created a user. What you did here, you give access to the user to some of the database and connection. What you did here, you granted a permission to Datadog to your grant process permissions. And here what you did, you given a permission to the performance schema. That's all. So these are the things is needed. Are you comfortable, all of you?
So the Datadog user created in SQL, MySQL, end, right?
SQL, of
Not
course.
OS.
No. SQL.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, from here, probably you know the process. So what you need to do, I think you know. So go to etc Datadog agent conf.d mysql.d, you know that. And here, this is the example file you need to copy, and here to here, this is a pattern. Now you know that. Now you know what, whatever that you specify, be careful. Okay, so here many things is commented, so be careful. So your database is running in the local host. Yes. What is username? Username is Datadog. Password, what was the password? I forgot actually. Anyone remember?
Password only.
Password only, yes. So here you give this PASSWRD. Port number default, no need to change, but if you have a customization, you know where to do that. Now guys, you know what, some settings I want to monitor. Which setting? So guys, this one I want to monitor, which is under the options. So if you go under the options, you will find all
Use some Rajesh, some password. Rajesh, this password, which password? Rajesh
which
something.
that was the root password. I'm giving the Datadog password. See, this is a root password. See here. And I created a one user, no, for that. So guys,
Okay,
here
okay.
here I want to add these 5 entries. Now our application false, Galata cluster true, and so forth. Now this you need it for the basic monitoring. Now these all entries are there in this file itself, but it's commented. Okay, if you go down a little bit, it's a pretty long file. You will find it all this commented. But I'm not getting lost in this. I'll go to the my line number one, and go little down. Okay, and somewhere here I will add it because these all are commented. I know that. So copy carefully, paste, copy and paste it. Remember that it's YAML file, so option must match with this one, and there should be 2 space. Remember that it's YAML. Okay, so save it. That's all.
Wait, Rajesh. These option is part of instance.
This is the part of the MySQL configuration. So you are telling, hey,
Yeah,
MySQL, yeah,
but sorry, sorry to interrupt you. But as you can say that it is a part of instance that the topmost tagged instances, and then that instance have a attribute host, username, password, port, then option.
yes,
So
yes.
we cannot put anywhere. So I think it should be part of.
No, actually, if you see that, okay. So this you see that this one, no, it's pretty long, 3, 4, 5 pages. So you can put it anywhere because downside it will. I'll show you that. These options you will find downside, but in a comment section. Um, okay.
That is
So
okay. You already mentioned, and I understand. So
yeah,
you put it. So you are saying this instance that that attribute is a big attribute, and you just put it in option inside the instance only.
correct. Yes, this is called stanzas in the Datadog.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, I did it. Now I forgot what to do now, guys.
You just need to go on the Datadog.
No. Whenever we modify the configuration, what need to be done?
Restart. You need to
Restart.
Restart, yes. Systemctl, restart, Datadog, and agent. Now I want to validate whether MySQL is activated or not. What should I do, guys?
So
Command for
The database,
Command?
data extension, yeah, Datadog,
Yes,
status.
yes, yeah. Status. Okay, so MySQL, let me go and check the status of it. So I'll go a little go up and should be see here MySQL. This OK message is OK, means it's important. So that means it's configured correctly. Now guys, you know what? You have to, everything is done configuration correctly, but you have to use the database to generate a matrix, right? It's just a blank database, right? So you have to generate something. So what to do? So then that is where after doing all this thing, you have to do this all stuff, and this is done. After that, you have to this is the MariaDB changes. Don't get confused with the MySQL or MariaDB. Both are different instance. Okay, so that is done. So here you find all this thing. So you did this one, but the question is, how do we use the MySQL database? So guys, that is where you can come to my blog and come to my blog, and here you need to type MySQL, something like that, MySQL and all. Now here I'm just looking for it, MySQL. Here MySQL commands and query cheat sheet. Yeah. So now here what I'm going to do, I'll share with you this URL. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to create insert. So let me just find out the queries, some of the copy paste things. I cannot find create table. Enter. It's here, right? So SQL query. This is a basic one just for demo. Okay. So you can log in, which I can log in. Here I can log in. Let me do that. Login and then password is anything. You can log in as a Datadog user also, but the permission will not be there. That's a problem. Only to get the matrix you have a permission given. And after that, you are going to create a database, one database testDB. See here, there's a problem in this command, colon is missing. Then use this testDB. These all are commands. And then create a table. And finally, I created a table, and then finally insert some data, one column that is sufficient, and done. And finally select that and see that, confirm the data is there or not, is there. And finally I will go and then check the matrices. So can I go and check the matrices? So this, all this thing you study, lots of configurations it's required, because you have to be pro and you have to be mastered in MySQL in this case also. So go to the Explorer. Okay. And this one, search for MySQL, and you see all this thing has come. So these are schemas which you're collecting. You have hardly few minutes of data, but you can check this. So guys, did you understand that how do we monitor the Datadog using, MySQL using Datadog? All of you?
Yeah.
The number of steps is a bit confusing. So
Yeah.
is there any step by steps like we need to do in certain steps, right?
Even though if I give you the step by step, it will change in next 10 days.
Yeah, I know, but
That-
there
that-
should be,
yeah.
no, I'm not saying the command, but there should be some generic, right?
So in this case, you can follow this tutorial. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and these are the things which I did it, and step number 4, and step number 5. And this is something which is common. And then these are the commands which you know very well. So this way, if you follow, this tutorial will help you. But again, if you try to follow blindly, then I'm sure you will not get success, because you know that all these things require little bit of understanding of commands. Because if you run, let's say this command, if you run, for example, this command, you have to log in actually, and you need to be root. You need to have permissions for that. So those basic knowledge is required. Here, Datadog will not help you in this case. Okay, so let me share this notes with you. Where is chat button? So just favorite out this page. It will save your time, and you can do tomorrow for this, all these things. So, and all. Okay, so any questions so far, guys, all of you?
We'll
So
be getting this instance tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll try to I'll give you same instance so you'll not lose the data.
Okay.
so now for the time being, as it is not responding, what is the now solution? Yes.
Not responding. So, I mean, right
It's
now,
not
only MySQL is like the latest version of MySQL, there's a changes actually. So what will happen? I have to configure the MySQL. I mean, I need to configure your machine in a way it will support. So I'll just check that. I spent some time. I could not, I didn't want it to disturb all the setup just to try it out. So I'll do that. Okay. So guys, so this is done. Now next thing which we have, any idea what was that which we discussed?
Cloud.
Which one?
Cloud.
Cloud, yes, guys, cloud, AWS. So guys, let me show you that. Yeah, any question?
Container orchestration also contain, right?
Kubernetes, right?
Yes,
Not container,
yes.
Kubernetes. So let me show you the cloud, and that is very easy actually. So I have to explain you the concept first. So let's understand the concept first, and then we'll do that. Okay. So now, first thing is, guys, this is a AWS. Understand the architecture first. This is a Datadog. So I'll just write it AWS and Datadog. The storage of the metrics is Datadog, and this is you. Now, question is, if I want to ask any matrices from AWS, which service is available for us?
So you were mentioning that CloudWatch.
CloudWatch.
Correct. So guys, there is a few monitoring services on cloud. I mean, for AWS, we have a CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and so on. So you have to remember that in the Azure, you have a Azure Monitor. So you have to remember that every data you can ask them, not to AWS or not to Azure. Ask a specific service. So CloudWatch is the service which has a complete data of every services which is you created on AWS. Agree with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now the question is, this is you. And if you ask a CloudWatch, how can you ask? Tell me. How can you ask, hey, give me this data or that data? You are asking through command line, through APIs, through CLI. How can you ask?
Normally we are installing the agent in that particular instance where we are.
Agent is not required, no?
Exactly.
Agent
Yes.
is.
I'm just coming to.
Through
So
the
we are
API, we can.
It's API call, you will make it.
API, yes.
And for that, what you need, two things you need in AWS. Can you please help me with that?
You
To
need
make
a
an API call, you need two things
That
in
access
AWS.
key and secret key.
Wonderful. Yes. Access key and secret key. That's all. So guys, yes. So what is happening? We need some component. Okay. We need some component. We'll make an API call to CloudWatch and fetch all the information and send it to the Datadog stored in the Datadog server. That's all. Mind it, this is a costly service. AWS will charge you for this. Datadog anyways will charging you for that. So that is the stuff, because AWS hates if someone is downloading the file, I mean data, out of their clusters, out of their infrastructure. So that is something. Okay, so this is just a very simple, that this is like an API call. How do we do that? So guys, I'll go to my Datadog, and here go to the integrations, and here I'll go click on the AWS. Okay, and here please check this out, the results. You have only one, which is called this one, and click on this. Now if I'm at your place, okay, I'll read it, don't rush it, you will read it very carefully. You will read the billing also. This is a paid services, by the way, so I'll have to incur maybe $15-$20 or something like that. And these are the services you can get the data. These are the 90 services. Now check this out, if your service is there or not. Now if your service is not there, so you should check the other integrations also. So now what to do? Documentation is here. You should read it, but here I'm going to directly add it. So add AWS account. Now they are saying, hey, do you want to add multiple AWS account? Not interested. Do you want to configure the through CloudFormation, or you want to do through the manual? CloudFormation will save lots of time actually, so that you should do that. Okay, so here I will go and log into my AWS first of all. Here, just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so I just got it. So here I'm going to look at my screen. Here I'm going to add a cloud formation. So cloud formations will be here. Okay, so I'm using the region which is called EUS East 1. Please remember that. So for that, US East 1. Now where's the API key? So API keys is and I'm creating one API key. Okay, and here I'm giving this one. Select API key. First this one. Okay, sorry, this API key is different. And send AWS log to Datadog. No. So logs I don't want today. Enable cloud security. No. And then I need launch CloudFormation template. Done. Now this is the CloudFormation template. If you want to read it, CloudFormation template, you can do that. These all our entries are pre-filled based on the MI API. Okay. Now permissions. Just a second. So this is the my API key. Datadog side H1. This is Lambda forwarded. That's okay. False, false. And permissions. And right now not needed. Acknowledge, acknowledge, create sticks. So this guy will do everything. So now it will take 5 minutes to run this CloudFormation script. And now CloudFormation script will run some of your Lambda things. Lambda will run on behalf of you in the the AWS, and fetch that everything from the CloudWatch. And after that, you can see, click on the ready and wait for it. Still it's, you have to wait for it till it's get completed automatically. Then the moment it's get completed here, you will see the options here automatically. So just wait for it, refresh. It will take few minutes and do that. So now this is the way you are gathering complete information automatically through the AWS, through the Lambda from AWS to Datadog. And now after a few minutes, you have a complete information about a Datadog, and then you can check it out. So just wait for it. Did you understand that, all of you?
One question, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Audible?
Just give me 2 seconds. There's one failure. Failure has happened because of so the failure has happened because, you know what, this role is already existed. So it's not able to create it because I keep demoing it, right? So let me do one thing. Yeah. So I'm deleting this one and delete. Now I'm creating one more time. So go to the stake and here and okay, just a second. I'm deleting all this thing once again. Now again, one more time. Same thing, select the key and select the key and no CloudFormation, and this is okay, and acknowledge and create. Just wait for a few seconds. Yeah, this time it got successful. Okay, so now just wait for a few minutes and still just wait for a few minutes and automatically you will get it.
Yeah. So till then, maybe I have one question.
Yeah.
So as cloud is also observability tool as well. It is also providing everything. So is there any kind of course we can add Datadog, we can integrate, but is there any extra benefit we are getting to integrate CloudWatch with Datadog?
So cloud is also observability tool, but the problem is cloud means AWS, let's say, will give you only all the services of AWS. Datadog is like widely used for everything almost. That's the first thing. Second thing, AWS is not having APM functionality, APM and kind of stuff. So you will get at Datadog only. Well, internal data, you won't get it. So what is APM? That I'll discuss tomorrow morning. So for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so done. And now keep refreshing, automatically it will come. So yeah, it came. Now here, this is the account which you have, which I integrated. You can delete also. Now all this metrics collection, you can do that. So here by default, they enable everything. That's the reason it's costing us. But if you say, no, I don't want all these things. So you can disable, enable, it depends on your wish. So right now I have a 14 instance, correct now? EC2 instance, correct now?
Mhm.
No, sorry, 19 instance. Let me check. I forgot actually. So go to the EC2 instance and 19 instance. You see 19 instance running. So now what to do? So I'm going to check this. So all this data will come. We'll have to wait for a few more seconds till it get populated because sometimes it take 4 to 5 minutes. But let me keep trying and see that if it's the metrics is coming or not. So any metrics is coming from the AWS, we'll start with AWS. And you see started coming, but not right now. So just we have to wait for it. Just we have to wait for it. EC2, no, just we have to wait for it. So guys, this is the way. So you got all the metrics within a few minutes. You'll get all the metrics now, and you can enjoy all these matrices whichever you want.
So if we can recap this, what we have done to integrate CloudWatch with the Datadog, that we just, because there is no agent, so we just went to Datadog, that portal, and we integrate AWS. And when we integrate the AWS, we got the login, and we log in into that, and then we got the option how we want to integrate through that CloudFormation script or through the manual. We choose the
Yeah.
CloudFormation script, and then the one automatically CloudFormation script run automatically, and it integrated. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. Let me revise this little bit of your flow.
Please.
So here this is the Datadog, okay, and this is the AWS. Okay. Now we know that theoretically this is the CloudWatch, which you have all the information. So what to do? So now we have to make a API call. So Datadog need to make a API call. So what Datadog has done it? Datadog deploy. This is a CloudWatch, okay. So Datadog has deployed one Lambda function. Lambda function, you write serverless, correct now? So Lambda function using what? CloudFormation. So now this Lambda function will run on a schedule basis, and they will ask CloudWatch, and whatever the information get, it's sent to the Datadog through API. That's all.
Okay, so it is kind of Lambda function is continuously running inside that AWS.
That's correct.
And schedule basis, and it is picking all kind of data and sending. So it's kind of basically it's working kind of agent actually.
It's a kind of agent, but you can call it a web agent or something like that. Not a system agent.
It's
It's
a
not a system.
it's a SIM
An agent,
solution, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not a system agent. It's like you can say it's a code. It's a program.
Yeah, no, Rajesh, it works like a Splunk, na?
Which one?
Splunk.
No, Splunk is having agent, forwarder, universal, and all is agent actually. Here is
Okay,
cloud call actually. Lambda serverless call. Code
okay,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, it's a
See, guys, it's started coming now. It will take 5 to 10 minutes at least for formalized. So you see, started getting. So now you need to ask AWS, hey AWS, what are the metrics you have? And that study you have to do all these matrices. How do you do that? You can go to the CloudWatch and you can study over there what are the metrics, and same matrices you will have it on Datadog. So these are the matrices. Understood, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh, understood.
Okay. So guys, this is the cloud integrations. I'll do one thing. I'll just leave it for 5-10 minutes until we get the data, because I need a data. That's all. And then I will disable it because it's paid services. So it will keep costing me my credit card actually. Okay. So
So Rajesh, any exercise left for today or?
we have a Kubernetes demo, so that I'll
Not
is
sure. Not sure. Okay. Yeah. You can
Kubernetes.
say.
So can you see my screen, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, in Kubernetes, you have to have understanding, more understanding than integration, because the work is of Kubernetes side more, and that required your skill set. So if you have good knowledge on Kubernetes, then you'll be able to integrate the things faster. So my questions to all of you, let me create some notepad. What do you want to monitor? That is the something you have to tell me, because what do you want to monitor? That is a question. Tell me.
And Kubernetes, you can monitor container, you can monitor pod, and yeah, you can monitor a specific component application,
Monitor services.
monitor
Services, yeah.
monitor, you can monitor, yeah, that
Yeah.
The
network.
services contain everything like application, or it is server logs.
Right, right. So guys, tell me, what is the component in the master?
Master, you have API, you have etcd, you have scheduler, you have a controller, you have a you have controller, you have a scheduler. Proxy in worker.
Correct now?
No, proxy and kubelet inside the worker. No.
Docker container.
No, proxy is there in the master also.
Okay.
So here, these are the things we have. These are the things we have in the worker. Correct now?
Yeah.
So guys, you need to decide what you want to monitor, and based on that, integrations are available. So why I ask you this question, because if you don't understand, then it will be very difficult you to integrate. So let me show you here what is the confusion. So
Sorry, Rajesh, to interrupt. One question. Inside the worker node, yeah, we can monitor node, we can monitor pod, we can monitor application. Why we need to monitor proxy, kubelet, Docker of course content.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so here everything you get a different data. So for example, API server will tell you all the pods and services what you deploy basically. Now etcd will tell you the etcd information which you want to monitor, because etcd is very important. Controller managers likewise, scheduler, proxy, kubelet. Kubelet will give you the node information actually. So Docker also will give you the all this container utilizations and stuff like that. So different requirements you may have, and different things you have to set it up. So let me show you. So I'm just logging into Datadog my account. So now guys, if I go to the integrations, okay, click on it. And now search for Kubernetes, okay? Kubernetes. Now see here. See here. This is the results which you got it when I did the search for Kubernetes. Okay. So let me just snip it. Actually, it'll be easy for me to discuss. Okay. So this is the stuff. So look at this here. Do you want DNS monitoring? You have to use this one. You want proxy monitoring? You have to do this one. You want the pods and services? You have to do this one, which is the main one. Do you want the API server details monitoring? Then here. Controller managers. What is a metric server? Anyone have idea?
Maybe the Kubernetes having on detail about on log.
Yeah, so metric server is basically infra monitoring on the Kubernetes side. So metric server is a external component. You have to install it separately. Okay, it's a different component. You have to do that. So if you want lots of infrastructure detail, then metric servers, you have to configure it separately. Again, if you want on EKS, I think this is the stuff you can try. If you are doing the try a CRI, then this is the one. Scheduler, this is the one. And Nginx Ingress controller, this is the one. So these all are depends on your requirement. Okay. So infra monitoring, probably you will do that. Service monitoring and pod monitoring, you will do this one. Component monitoring, here you have, 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 here you have. So depends on your requirements and all, you can do that. So right now I'm going for the pods and service monitoring, which is generic one. For this, I'm going for this one. Got it, all of you?
Okay.
Okay, so now guys, what I will do, I will click on the Kubernetes. Now, let me just make it simple. I will read it. Okay, so go for the support, go for asset, go for data collection. You can see that here, containers running, CPU capacity. These are the capacity. These are the metrics you will get it. And again, keep going it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paginations are there actually. A lot of it. Now this is the documents actually. So guys, first of all, you need a cluster. You know what? Luckily, we have a cluster. Why? Because yesterday I was in some Kubernetes session. So luckily we have a cluster, and this machine which I'm using it, basically it's a Kubernetes cluster only. Can we try? Look at my screen. Got it? Oh, it's not ready. That is not good. So what should I do? So just a second, give me 2 seconds. I'll make it ready. Kuberium
kubectl.
is set. I'm deleting it and creating it because it's not ready. I don't want to troubleshoot in front of you because our objective is to get quickly up and running the clusters. So just give me 2 seconds. So yesterday I was having the Kubernetes session, so I was doing it and then I created this server for the same thing. So just give me 30 seconds. The Kubernetes clusters will be ready. Okay guys, so done. There is some problem actually. The problem is okay, I got this. So basically, it is breaking by Docker latest version. So let me do one thing. Let me just give me 2 seconds. Because you know what? Kubernetes has deprecated the Docker. You know that, right? All of you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Kubernetes has deprecated the Docker from the 1.23 onwards, and they supported containerd. So I have to do some changes in this. So otherwise it will break. So let me do that. Because morning what I did in order to show the demo, I installed the Docker by overriding the last setup. That was the things. but no problem, I can remove it. That's not a big deal. Done. So that is done. It's not removed actually. Okay, so just a minute. So system CTF stop Docker. Just give me 2 seconds.
Hey Rajesh, can you just skip this demo for tomorrow morning and complete some theoretical, just another 15-20 minutes, right?
That is also possible.
And then tomorrow we can start from fresh, right?
Yeah, that is also possible.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go into the slide mode then. Is it okay for everyone?
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. So okay, so this is a small topic. I think we can complete this. Uh, so now I'm going to talk about that how do we do authentication and authorizations, okay, in a Datadog. How do we do that? So for understanding that one, you need to log in to a Datadog, and first of all, you have to go this part, which is here. Okay, see here. So here you have a personal settings, and here you have organization settings. Okay, so you see here organization setting. That means anytime you create a one account, basically you become one organizations. Okay, so likewise, if anyone is creating a account, it's basically representing some organizations. Mind it. So this is the organization setting. So here, organization is basically where you can manage all of your projects. That is something like this. So you may have, you know, one organization, child organization is not supported in the trial version. If you have a paid version, you will get a trial child organization and so on. So what is organization? So this organization is basically representing that users, teams, service account, login method, and all these API keys and auth and many more. So this is the representing organizations. This is your users related data. This is like a personal settings. Okay, so you are the administrator for the administrator for the organizations also, because you only created an account. So here you see that you got a role to yourself, a Datadog admin role. So likewise. So how do we log in to the Datadog? So yes, various ways you should have. So you have a password base which you are using right now. You can use a Google also to log into the Datadog. You can also enable the SAML. Okay, so SAML is like is a way like multi method which you can support using SAML. So for that also you can configure SAML. So here all these options you'll get it under the login method. You see here, this is the password, this is the Google, this is the SAML, and you need to configure it if you want to support this. So these are the complete details you have, which will help you to upload your SAML authentications. You can upload your SAML also, so that way it will help you.
Can
So
I
this is
interrupt? Yeah, Rajesh, can I interrupt?
hello.
Yeah, can I interrupt here? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt you. Just want to understand when you talk about the organization. So you mentioned that when you log in, it becomes one organization. Maybe the organization is only for the admin user, or anyone can get an organization.
No. So it's like this. See, I'll put it in this way.
I'm just comparing. I'm comparing with the cloud. When you only few that to create an organization, that you have some kind of permission for that, and inside the organization you create multiple project, multiple folder. Then you assign the permission. Who can do what, and similarly there is the same concept here.
Yes, same concept, but it's like this. When you create an account, okay, you by default create an organization. That means every asset which you have belong to organization, not your account. Because you can be a part of the multiple account, your login. You can be granted access to multiple account, but your organizations is something where all the assets you do, monitoring, whatever you do, that belongs to organization. That means servers, integrations, all the logs, all the asset which you uploaded, matrices basically, users, and everything will belong to the organizations. So that way.
You're not getting.
Yeah.
So suppose what I'm it is a SaaS, it's a software as a service. So
Yeah.
when a software as a service, that means that suppose if in my organization IBM, if suppose I'm working on some account, suppose ABC company, and in ABC company I'm having a multiple project running, and each project I want a separate monitoring system, and I want that I can see everything, but not everyone can see all the project. So what is the role here in the organization if we have a multiple project running and we are using Datadog for that?
So here project concept is not there in Datadog. So organizations basically is representing the entire infra log, APM log, logs, matrix, logs, traces, your users, your authentication method, authorization belong to organization. There is no project concept as such.
I understand, but then what is the meaning of organization? Because there is no meaning of organization then. Because then it's a simple user. Because user also have these all what you are telling that
So user must be having at least one organization, belong to one organization. So by default, when you create an account, you create one organization by default. Now you can be a part of the other organizations also.
Yeah, that's the question. How I can be part of other organization? That is
You have to invite a user. So I was talking about that one. So here you can invite your users, and here invite users, and then add the email address and assign the roles, and he'll become a part of your organization, which is mine is DevOps School.
and user inviting other user, you should have admin access on that. Am I right?
So here it's like this, one account, one organization, you have a 50-30 people, right? Someone is infra team, someone is developer, someone is a program,
Right.
IT team, like that, likewise.
Yeah.
So multiple team members are working for the same organizations. Right now, what we did, we created, each one of us is created an individual account. But actually, in reality, what will happen? One person will create account who will be the super admin, and then he will invite it and then assign the roles according to as per their profile. So everyone will use the one account only, common account, and use that licenses, because everyone is not going to pay. Only one organization is going to pay for that.
Yes, that I'm getting that. Yeah. So that
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, understand.
So this is the login method, and these are the options available for Datadog. Now authorization, how do we set the authorization? Means which user is allowed to do what? So what you are allowed to do? So for authorization, these are the roles we have. Let me show you here also it's the same thing. So you go to this here. So these are the roles you have. By the way, you can create a more roles, but this option is not available automatically in the trial account. So what you have to do, click on this setting button and here you say enabled. Okay. So then it will be enabled by default. I don't know why they did it like that. And then you can create a custom roles and assign the permission. So here I'm creating a custom roles. Let's say DevOps team. Now, whichever the, so see that all the permissions is at the, this is the service level. Look at this, which service you want to access. So here, more or less, we are focusing on the infrastructure monitoring. So here, let me just segregate first, minimize all this thing. So it's still pretty long list actually. So here, if you're focusing on this, let's say infrastructure, so you'll give the access to integrations, and then you will give the access to dashboard, log management, monitoring means alerting, APM, so synthetic monitoring, RAM. So these are the things you will give access to it. So based on the access, you can give it, and then you right side you can select all this thing. Okay, so this is a simple one. You can understand that by whichever access you want to give it, you have to give it, and then create, save it. That's all. So now I did it. I created one role, given some access. There's no users as of now. You can edit, delete, and all this thing you can do that. These three roles you have, which is inbuilt and which is coming along with every accounts actually. So yeah, you can get access by assigning into the users into the role. So where to invite? So here you have invite the using email address and get it done. Okay, so these are the three roles as we showed you. So admin role, users have access to billing information and ability to revoke API keys. They can manage users and configure read-only dashboard. They can promote standard users to administrator. Standard roles, users are allowed to view and modify all monitoring features that Datadog offers, such as dashboard, monitors, events, notebook. Standard users also can invite other users to organization. Third one is read-only role. So accordingly, you have this. User, yeah, which user you understand that like you can create a more users to your organization. User which contain the email ID and password to log in the Datadog. Service account. So sometime what happens, you do the lots of API work actually, automation work. So you don't want user access, but you want the service account to be used for the applications to connect to the Datadog APIs and all. So service accounts are non-interactive accounts that can be used to own applications key and other resources that are shared across your team. So it can be viewed once by the individual who created the key. So where do you service accounts? So let me show you the service accounts here. You can create a service accounts here. Name of is like a build, email build@build.com, and assign the role to the user, whatever, and then create service account. So this is self-explanatory. This is service. Here you can create a new team, but it has come new feature. You see the new brand, new tag is there. Here you can invite a user. You can enable and disable the login method. Here you can configure the SAML group and so on. Here you have a roles. Using that you can assign the access to the user. Now, this I'm not talking about now because I need to cover the RAM and all before talking about API keys, application key, client key, and event APIs. This will be discussed in the last day. So many other options we have at the APM level. So whichever you want to, organization level, whichever you want to configure, let's say APM. Right now we have not done that. So that setting can be done at the organization level. These are the things: ingestion control, generate matrices. Many features are there at the org level, which you can control from there. So APM and logs and synthetic and RAM we have not discussed. So once we discuss, you'll automatically understand these settings. Okay, so did you got little bit of comfortable with the authentication and authorizations, all of you?
Yeah, some question actually, Rajesh. So suppose, is there any way that, because it's a SaaS, so now What I want that in spite of just creating a user, I can just log in with my IBM user at that LDAP authenticator, my Microsoft basically that. So is there any way to integrate
possible.
my
SAML you have to enable.
Okay, so
SAML.
we need to do SAML that SAML configuration. So but SAML is different. But my question basically that if I need to integrate my existing user like my organization level user, I don't need a separate user to create here.
So but nowadays, in fact, organization level is hosted in the cloud, right? So SAML can integrate with your org, and org will get you the access through SAML and allowed to access to Datadog. So let's say Active Directory and all, you can use that.
Active Directory, and yes, exactly, Active Directory.
Cloud-based Active Directory.